Hey everybody, Elizabeth Statlander, getting straight to the point on mental health and relationship issues, continuing with our personality disorder series. And we just did a 3-part series on narcissism, and now I'm going to move to the borderline. What is a borderline? Well, a borderline is actually a person with borderline personality disorder. Borderline is a personality disorder whose mantra is, please don't leave me, please don't leave me, please don't leave me. I think you're gonna leave me and I'm panicked unless I am attached to you and talking to you every minute, all the time. Oh, okay, that's borderlines. I kind of have a joke and I say all teenage girls are borderlines because, you know, when they're having their first boyfriends, they have to talk to them all the time. They have to talk to their girlfriends all the time. And, you know, there's very little sense of self. And, you know, they're very susceptible to what other people are doing and peer pressure. Well, that is kind of what borderlines are kind of like, but they're adults. Borderlines are drama queens to the max, and they will absolutely go bonkers if you leave them or break up with them. They're big game players. They have a wonderful book out there if you want to read more about borderlines called I Hate You, Don't Leave Me. So borderlines are constantly participating in that cat and mouse game, make up, break up, you know, let's break up, let's get back together. I hate you, have a great night. I hate you too, have a great night. Have a nice life, have a nice life. That's, you know, a borderline. Borderlines, getting to the drama queen part, man, they can turn on the fountain of tears like an Academy Award winning actress or actor. I've seen borderline men do it too. They cry over everything, and they can do a lot of wonderful acting with crocodile tears, and that's how they gain control of an emotional argument, is to cry, and they use their crying to control and manipulate everyone around them, because then everyone who doesn't know what they're doing feels bad for them and actually will stop and give them the floor. So beware of the crocodile tears of the borderline. It sounds cruel, but it's acting. So one of the examples that my professor used in graduate school to teach us about a borderline was Fatal Attraction. And Glenn Close was a high-level borderline. She couldn't have Michael Douglas, and she basically stalked him and went crazy. And high-level borderlines are like that. But to put it in a modern-day example, Taylor Swift has this video out, and I cannot think of the name of it, but she's basically saying that she plays games with men, that she doesn't have, true feelings for them, that she makes up with them, breaks up with them, and then you see her going absolutely crazy, taking a big knife and slicing property in her home, a big portrait with a knife, and wrecking the guy's car with a golf club. That's borderline behavior, and it's not really cute or entertaining. I don't know why she would make a video like that, but it's beyond my understanding. But they're crazy. I mean, borderlines get crazy. There are both male and female borderlines, and I would say that they do the constant calling, begging to come back. They'll do something really awful, and then they'll cry, and they'll be so sorry because they love you so much, and then they'll reel you back in, and they're just full of it. They're big actors and actresses, and they have to create chaos wherever they go. Can't have peace with a borderline around. It's impossible. They love to gossip and whisper in each other's ears, turning one person against the next person and splitting up groups of friends by making up stories and telling lies to people that someone said something about them that actually they never did, because they just love splitting up people. That's just so much fun for them because they feel like they're in control. And not all borderlines do all of the things that I'm talking about, but the more high-end of the spectrum the borderline personality disorder is, the more of these types of things you're going to see. Borderlines can be incredibly moody, and not only do they manipulate with their tears, but they manipulate with their moods quite often. I'll have them come into therapy like, and, they're just dying for me to ask, oh, what's wrong? What's going on? Everything. And they love to be chased. They love to be sought after, and if they're not, then they'll do the chasing. And there are some therapists out there that don't even want to, see borderlines because they can just be so damn unnerving to deal with. But there are people that maybe just have some traits and not the full-blown personality disorder, or have different levels of severity. Borderlines are risky. They, engage in a lot of risky behaviors, lots of drugs and alcohol, involved in the life of a borderline, a lot of addiction in general. And borderlines are very self-harming. Again, at the higher end of the spectrum, you're going to see a lot of suicidal gestures, a lot of self-harm, cutting, burning themselves, starving themselves, overeating, lots of alcohol and drugs, lots of risky sexual behaviors, really self-destructive and putting them in harm's way. The self-mutilation can be from, even like so many tattoos that you can't see the body anymore, where it becomes almost like self-mutilating, I think that's borderline behavior. Doesn't necessarily mean they're a borderline, but it's definitely borderline behavior. Lots of drunk driving, things that are just, risky and irresponsible, blowing through money, things like that. Bipolar disorder, bipolar disorder can often be, incorrectly diagnosed when someone's really just a borderline. And I can talk later about how those things get confused. But if you're in a relationship with a borderline, you're going to wonder why they're making up, breaking up, wanting to get back together, kicking you out of their house, then chasing you and begging you to come back. And, borderline couples, they can, make up and break up, my gosh, 10 times a year. So if you think you might be in a relationship like that and you want some advice and some consultation, reach out to me, and don't diagnose on your own. Get professional help. I'm here if you need me, 412-376-7322. And and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and check me out on Facebook. Thanks, everybody.